Okay, so you all ready? Are you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Great. Okay. Okay, so let me just introduce Blue Trade real quickly to you. You already had a basic introduction. Uh, we're Bahamian based and we're a trading club. Okay, we provide crypto and forex education and coaching. And that's as simply as it is. We are not a financial institution. I do not offer financial advice in the capacity of a financial advisor. I do offer financial coaching, education coaching, all in the form of education. Okay, so that is my disclaimer. And you know my name. I'm a full-time crypto and forex trader and coach. And this presentation is designed to take a look at the foundation, the history of crypto and blockchain technology. And it's designed for starters, persons who are just getting introduced to the whole world of crypto and blockchain. Now, everybody who expressed an interest, they're interested because they want to make an investment. There are three things that make a good investment. The first one is the right investment. What are you going to be investing in? Not every investment is the right investment. The second thing is the right technology. You should always observe or research the technology behind a particular investment. If the technology is old and outdated and there's new technology that's being used, but your investment is not using the new technology, chances are they might get left behind and your investment will not be profitable. The third thing is the right time. Timing is very important. You can have the right investment, the right technology, and all at the wrong time. There are some companies that experience that with the internet and the .com explosion. Okay, some technology just wasn't the right time. So once you have the three of those together, you have a better chance of having success on your investment. And what we're going to talk about today is something that I think um, has a tick on all three of these when it comes to investment. Now, when it comes to investment, every every age has its new technology, and the new wealth of every age is marked by a significant advancement in technology. The question we have to ask ourselves is where are we now in time and history in relation to investments and in relation to where the world is moving to? I want to tell you that we are at what I call the precipice of the fourth industrial revolution. Now, most people are not familiar with the idea of a fourth industrial revolution. We've all been taught in school that there was one major industrial revolution. But the truth is, it's not. It's actually four. We've experienced three. And right now, we are at the beginning of the fourth. Now, I just finished talking about timing. Timing is important. Here we are talking about time, right at the beginning of the fourth industrial revolution. And we just said that the new wealth of every age is marked by significant advancements in technology, and that's what we're doing right now. So this guy, Klaus Schwab, he's the founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum. In his book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution, he talks about the fact that there are actually four distinct periods of industrial revolution throughout history, including the one we're beginning right now. He described an industrial revolution as the appearance of new technologies and novel ways of perceiving the world that trigger a profound change in economic and social structures. That is a complete definition of what uh, transforming technology does, what an industrial revolution does. We believe that blockchain technology and the emerging technologies like crypto will do just this. It will trigger a profound change in all of our economic and social structures. It's about to happen. Now, the blockchain revolution, a survey by the same World Economic Forum in 2015 indicates that 10%, now listen now, Latoya, 10% of the world's gross domestic product will be stored on blockchains. Okay? You need to understand what that means. It means the value of all goods and services produced in the world will very soon be conducted, I should say 10% of the value of all goods and services produced in the world will be conducted on blockchains. Now that means that blockchain will very shortly begin to command a major chunk of the world's gross domestic product. Everything is being produced will be stored, will be as a result of the blockchain technology. This is so important because this is telling us that the blockchain technology is more important than the crypto itself. Crypto is one of the products of blockchain technology. Cryptocurrency is only one, which means there are thousands of ways the blockchain technology will be applied to produce everything, to manage everything. It's going to change the way we live. All of our social and economic structures will be affected by blockchain. And even though we're talking about cryptocurrencies, most people don't understand that cryptocurrency is only one application of the blockchain technology. So before I get further into the fourth revolution, let me introduce the first three to you, just to give you a backdrop of where we're coming from. Now, the first revolution is called the age of mechanical production. So around 1760, through the advent of the steam engine, at that time, steam was powering everything from agriculture to textile manufacturing. During this age, this technology began to control and take over and become the main engine behind everything that was being produced in the world. This was pushing everything. It's called the age of mechanical production. The second revolution is called the age of science and mass production. What they're saying is, during this age, they were able to take the mechanical revolution of the previous age, take what they were able to do and make it faster, better. During this age, you got to think of things like gasoline engines, airplanes, chemical fertilizers, medical advancements. They all were inventions that help us to go faster and to do more. The third revolution is called the digital revolution. The fact that you're listening to me now, watching this webinar, is proof of the digital revolution. You are now today experiencing the wonders of the digital revolution. Things like the cloud, internet, mobile phones, our personal computers, our laptops. This is the age, the digital revolution. Believe it or not, this age is about to turn into another age, the fourth revolution. Now, we're all here together at this precipice. And by the way, if you want to stop and ask me questions, please feel free, okay? Okay, I know that you're just listening, but just give me a little response to make sure technically I still have you connected.
I'm still here.
Good, excellent. Okay. Okay, so here we all of us around the world, sitting on the edge, on the precipice of this new fourth revolution. This revolution, however, is going to be powered by the cloud, social mobile, something very interesting I want you to look at. It's called the Internet of Things. Okay, listen. For most of us, the internet has been about information. Okay? The world of information has exploded. The internet made it available for you to access information on anything, anytime, anywhere. Information is no longer controlled by a certain few or certain systems. Okay? They can't hide it from you anymore. But the Internet of Things is going to be an application of the power of the internet in more ways than you thought possible. It's going to be more than just information. It's going to be more than just having a Zoom meeting online. It's going to be more than just um, making a call on WhatsApp. It's going to advance to the Internet of Things, many things. You're going to have increased artificial intelligence along with increasing computer power. Computers are going to be able to do even more than you can imagine right now. But it's the confluence of all of these technologies that makes it possible. You see, the blockchain technology is going to open doors of technology that didn't exist before. And the opening of those doors are going to open more doors for opportunities with the internet and the cloud and computation. Right now, with computers, have you heard of something called, um, oh, what's the name of it? Um, oh, it escapes me. Um, there's a new technology behind computers right now that is going to cause the power of computers to increase 10,000 times. It's already here. Companies like Facebook and Google, Amazon, Microsoft, all those big boys are fighting to control this new technology in computers. They don't use two states, they use multiple states. Right now, computers use a two-state program In the future, computers are going to be using photons, light, the power of light to do computations. I say in the future, it's already here. It's happening now. It's just that it's going to explode. So anyway, let's move on. Um, this fourth revolution, we don't know what's going to happen. The pages are not written yet. But we do know that this is the technology that you want to be on top of if you're going to be making decisions about investment. One of the areas that is most affected by this technology, particularly blockchain and cryptos, is an area called fintech. Now, fintech is an acronym of these two words, financial technology. It means that this technology is affecting the finance industry more than any other industry in the beginning. So fintech has become a very popular term that you will hear. And the persons right now understanding that if they want to make investments, this is the right investment area to be in. Make investments that are involved in fintech, financial technology. Now, financial technology is used to describe new tech that seeks to improve and automate the delivery and use of financial services. So you think of all the financial based companies, companies offering financial services. Some of them are going to die and some of them are going to grow. The ones that adopt and change will grow. The ones that do not will die. Some of the big banks that we see right now today, in a few years, they will no longer exist. Some of the ones that we see now, we think are small, will one day in the future become giants. All the PayPal, all the other types of financial companies. Okay, the transformation is going on. We must understand these things to make right investments. Now, the thing that brought fintech to the forefront was, of course, cryptocurrencies and the blockchain technology, or I should say, the blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies. They have made fintech number one. They've put fintech in the spotlight of attention. It is the fastest growing sector in the world today, fintech. Now, the potency of any new technology is its ability to fill a gap, to solve a problem. Cryptocurrencies solve the problem of trust. Let's take a look at what really brought cryptocurrencies to the forefront. Okay, one word. One word is trust. The foundation of any monetary system is the trust that all participants must have in their medium of exchange to hold value in all types of transactions. So we're going to take a look now into a little bit of the history of money so we can understand where cryptocurrencies are coming from. What is it saying? All monetary systems, the persons involved must have trust, confidence that whatever they are using as a medium of exchange to hold value and transactions will last. If they don't have trust in it, it's not going to work. Now, here in the Bahamas, we hold trust in the Bahamian dollar as our medium of exchange. Why? Well, our government backs it. Our government says this is legal tender and we back it. But that's not the main reason we have confidence in the Bahamian dollar, you know. It's because the Bahamian dollar is pegged to the US dollar. So as you know, in the Bahamas, we use both of these exchanges comfortably in the Bahamas. You can buy stuff with Bahamian dollars or American dollars. but it's because we have trust in these currencies as a medium of exchange. Now, before we talk about Bitcoin, let me take a little deeper look into money. What exactly is money? So, at its core, money represents value. If something has value and it is perceived and it is accepted by all, then that thing can be seen as money. So if I do some work for you, you will give me money in exchange for the value I gave you. I can trust then that the money that you gave me, I can use as something of value from someone else in the future. I've got to be able to take what you gave me and offer it to somebody else as an exchange of value for something that I want. Now, throughout history, value has taken forms, many forms. People use a lot of different materials to represent money, the things that have value to them: salt, wheat, shells. The most popular, of course, is gold, which has been used as a medium of exchange for a very long time. So, what happens? However, in order for something to represent value, people have to trust that this thing is indeed valuable and will stay valuable long enough for them to redeem that value in the future. They've got to have that. And I'm going over this because this is what is necessary to understand Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So, something that you value today, you've got to trust that that thing is going to hold its value in the future because you want to be able to redeem that value in the future. That's like a paper money. Paper money. So up until about 100 years ago or so, we all trusted in something. We had value in something. Now, however, along the way, we have changed our trust model from trusting in something to trusting in someone. That was a major change in how the world financial system operates. We stopped trusting in something and we started trusting in someone. Let me explain what this means. Over time, people found it too cumbersome to walk around the world carrying bars of gold or any other form of value or money. It was just too cumbersome. So paper money was invented. It was much easier to transport, much easier to divide, much easier to, to, to transfer to someone else. So what happens is this: a bank or government would offer to take possession of your bar of gold. Let's say you have $1,000 worth of gold. In return, the bank would give you a receipt certificate, which can be billed amounting to $1,000. This literally used to happen. You would go to the bank, give the bank your gold. The bank would in turn give you these receipt certificates confirming that you have $1,000 worth of gold. And you could therefore you can go ahead and use those receipt certificates to do further transactions because they were accepted as, because they came from the bank. These receipt certificates is what evolved into paper money. Okay. So paper money began its use as money as instruments of practicality and convenience. Okay, however, As time progressed, and due to macroeconomic changes, this bond between the paper receipt and the goal that it stood for was broken. Initially, people accepted the receipts because of the gold that was supposed to have been stored in the bank that the receipt rep- represented. But it became so popular that people began to lose what the relationship was all about. So we have to understand how the world moved from the gold standard to where it is today. What happened was governments began to tell people, look, that the government itself would be liable for the value of that paper money. Basically, all said, you know what? Let's just forget about gold. Let's just trade the paper. Government basically said, listen, don't worry about the gold. We will guarantee the value of this paper. People began to continue to trade those receipts that were backed by nothing but the government's promise. And why did this work? Well, it worked because of one word, trust. Remember we started off talking about trust? Trust. So even though there's no actual commodity backing paper money, people trusted the government, and that's how what we call today fiat, F-I-A-T. You'll become familiar with this word. It means fiat money. Fiat money was created as what we spend today. What is fiat money? Fiat is a Latin word that means by decree, simply meaning that the dollars, the Bahamian dollars, the US dollars, the Euro dollars, the Japanese dollars, or any other currency for that matter, it has value simply because the government orders it. That's what it means by decree. By decree, the government has established, the government has ordered that this tender, this receipt, this money will have value. It will now be known as a legal tender. Coins or banknotes must be accepted if offered as payment. So the government established it by a decree that if you want to buy and sell something, you must accept this legal, we are making it legal as the government tender coins and banknotes as payment, accepted as value. So the value of today's money actually comes from a legal status given to it by a central, remember that now, a central authority. In this case, that's the government. And so the whole trust model has changed from trusting in something, gold, or whatever was of value in your country, to trusting someone, in this case, the government. So fiat money, though, has two drawbacks. One, it is centralized. Two, it's not limited by quantity, meaning governments, if they need more of it, they just go and print more. That is not a good thing. So let's look at the first disadvantage of fiat money. Remember now, we're leading up to why cryptocurrencies are important. So we're looking at the two reasons why fiat money, the money ordered by the government to be of value, is disadvantaged. The first one is it is centralized. You have a central authority that controls and issues it. In this case, it's the government or a central bank. Okay. The second disadvantage is it's not limited by quantity. Now, the government or central bank can print as much as they want whenever they need it and inflate the money supply in the market. The problem with printing money is that because you flood the market with more value, with money, the value of each dollar drops. So your own money is worth less. We all understand this. If you pump more money into the economy, you decrease the value of each dollar. And there's some companies, some countries who are still suffering from that. Sometimes when you see prices rise throughout the year, it's not necessarily because um, it's not so much that prices are rising as much as this the fact that the purchasing power of your money is dropping. You need more dollars to buy something that used to cost less. And this is a disadvantage of fiat currency. Once fiat money was in place, and now we're talking about transitioning from fiat to digital money. Once fiat money was in place, the move to digital money is pretty simple. We already have a central authority that issues money. The question is, why not make money mostly digital and let that authority keep track of who owns what? This was the beginning of the move from fiat paper money to digital money. Now, today we mostly use credit cards, wire transfers, things like PayPal, other forms of digital money. So the amount of physical money in the world is almost negligible and it's getting smaller and smaller with each year that passes. In other words, the move towards digital money has already begun. It's been in place for quite a while. The amount of regular money in the economy has been dwindling because of the rise and the move of digital money. So it begs the question, if money today is digital, how does that even work? I mean, if you have a file that represents a dollar, what's to stop me from copying that file a million times and create $1 million? This is called the double spend problem. The double spend problem simply says, okay, you have a record that says I have a dollar. What is stopping you, the person who has that record, or what is stopping me if I'm able to access that of duplicating that ledger that says I have a dollar a million times? Because the only proof that I have the value of a dollar is that record. There are people who have been able to do that. They've been able to get into the system and create ways to duplicate that ledger that says you have a dollar. They have been able to get in and duplicate the ledger that says they have a dollar, increasing their own value, but it's not increased in any real value. It's called the double spend problem. The solution that banks use today is a centralized solution. They keep a ledger, you see, on their computers, which keeps track of who owns what. Everyone has an account, and this ledger keeps a tally of each account. We all trust the bank, and the bank trusts the computers, and so the solution is centralized on this ledger in this computer. Now, you may not know this, but there were many attempts to create alternative forms of digital currencies in the past. However, none were successful in solving the double spend problem without a central authority. And this is the point. Yes, there's a double spend problem. The only people who keeps a record, a ledger of who owns what and who owns how much is centralized in the government, the central banks, and the banking system. That's where all the ledgers are, all the records are of who owns what. And because of that ledger that you can find in the government system or the central bank system, which is the same as the government, or the bank system, that's the only place you can go to determine your value. How do you know that you have $1,000 in the bank? Only because the ledger that the bank has shows that you have $1,000. I mean, suppose the bank changed that. How can you prove that? How can you prove you have $1,000 now? All of a sudden you have 500. What do you have to prove that you had $1,000? Nothing, because it's a centrally controlled system. That's why they could teach so much. They could teach. Who could prove? Who who could prove? Nobody. It's centrally controlled. And when it becomes centrally controlled, persons who control that or who have access to that can control the value. So the question, sorry, the problem here was, how do we take control back from that central authority? Digital money has been attempted before, but until blockchain came, there was nothing that allowed us to control or to eliminate the double spend problem. Centralized money. Whenever you give anyone control over the money supply, you're giving them enormous power, and this creates major issues. Corruption. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. I just finished talking about that. When banks have a mandate to create money or value, they basically control the flow of value in the world. I just finished talking about that, which gives them almost unlimited power. A small example of how power corrupts can be seen in Wells Fargo's scandal, where employees secretly created millions of unauthorized bank and credit card accounts in order to inflate the bank's revenue system without the customers even knowing. That's what I'm talking about. You may or may not remember the Wells Fargo incident, but all they're saying is these people went into the ledger to created new accounts, new ledgers that simply stated that this money exists, and it didn't. That is the double spend problem. How do you eliminate that? And the people who have this power abuse it. If the central authority's interest isn't aligned with the people it controls, there may be a case of mismanagement of the money. For example, printing a lot of money in order to save a certain bank or institution from collapsing is what happened in 2008. Everyone should remember the financial collapse of 2008. These are all examples. The problem with printing too much money is that it causes inflation and basically erodes the value of the citizens' money. One extreme example of this is Venezuela. The government printed so much money in Venezuela, the value dropped so much, the people stopped counting the money. They start weighing the money. They say, oh, you want a box of cornflakes? That's about £2 of these dollars, £10. Because the money is worthless. We measure its value in the weight, not even in the dollar amount. So you're giving away control of your money to the government or bank. At any point in time, the government can decide to freeze your account. And that's what I just finished talking about as well. You have $1,000, so you think you come back tomorrow and that could be 500 and you can't prove it. So at any point in time, the government can decide to freeze your account and deny you access to your funds. Even if you use only hard cash, guess what? The government could cancel the legal status of your currency. And this was done in India a few years back. They simply canceled the value of some of the Indian notes. What do they call them? I forget what to call it in India. I think they had a 500 and $1,000 note. Like how we have $5 and 10 and $100. They had one for 500 and one for 1,000. Now imagine you have a suitcase full of 500 and $1,000 notes today. Tomorrow, the government jump up and say the $5,000 notes, the $1,000 notes, and the $500 notes are now illegal. They are no longer accepted. We are canceling the legal status of those notes. Yesterday, you thought you were rich. Today, government make this announcement, all your money gone. I say no more. So this was the state of things until 2009. Creating an alternative to the current monetary system seemed like a lost cause. But then everything changed. In October 2008, a document was published online by a guy calling himself Satoshi Nakamoto. The document, also called a white paper, suggested a way of creating a system for a decentralized currency called Bitcoin. That word is important. Decentralized. The financial collapse of 2008 was the backdrop to the creation of Bitcoin. Some guys sat down and said, can we come up with a way to solve this double spend problem, to create a system that the central governments, the central banks, people in power cannot abuse? This white paper, which was the beginning of Bitcoin, it claimed to create a digital currency that solves this double spend problem. And it does it without the need of a central bank or a central authority. It was saying, look, we think we have a way of solving this problem where we don't need the bank or the government to confirm for me I have this much value. Because if they can confirm, they can also take it away. So Bitcoin was born with this white paper, with this digital currency. So at its core, Bitcoin is a transparent ledger without a central authority. Now, what does this all mean? A central ledger. Remember, all along I've been saying how the bank will keep records. The central bank keeps records. They will keep a ledger of your account. Well, blockchain is pretty much the same thing. It's a ledger. So let's compare Bitcoin to the bank. Now, since most money today is already digital, the bank basically manages its own ledger of balances and transactions. However, the bank's ledger is not transparent, and it is not stored on the bank's main computer, and it is stored on the bank's main computer. You and I can't sneak a peek into the bank's ledger. Only the bank have control over that, and the central bank have control over the banks, and the government have control over central bank. So you think you can walk into the bank and go into the bank's computers and see things? You can't do that. If you want information, they will only give you information from about your account, and you can only accept what they give you. You are not allowed to go and see other transactions that may have affected your account. No, as far as they're concerned, that's none of your business. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is transparent. It's a transparent ledger. At any point in time, I can sneak a peek into the ledger and see all other transactions and balances that are taking place. The only thing you can figure out with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is who owns these balances and who is behind each transaction. Okay? Bitcoin takes all of the transactions, they are stored on computers all over the world, all connected in this one concept called blockchain. So Bitcoin is pseudo anonymous. Everything is open, transparent, and trackable, but you still can't tell who is sending what to whom. Blockchain is an open ledger of transactions, but you can't tell who owns what. But everything can be seen on the blockchain. I'm going to show you right now a picture of the first blockchain Bitcoin transaction. It was done in May of 2010. You'll see where a certain address transferred 10,000 Bitcoins to another address. But but you don't know, but you don't know who sent this transaction, which another transaction took place. So look here, you'll see this account here was minus 10,000 Bitcoins. This account here was added 10,000 Bitcoins, which means this person here sent out 10,000 Bitcoins. This person received 10,000 Bitcoins. And if I tell you what this transaction was for, it'll blow your mind. This specific transaction is the first purchase that was ever made with Bitcoin. It was made to buy two pizzas by a guy named Laszlo. And he publishes back in 2010 asking for someone to sell him two pizzas in exchange for 10,000 Bitcoin. 10,000 Bitcoins. Someone did. Someone sold him two pizzas for $10,000. Today, those two pizzas are worth $100 million. $100 million. Now, the point here is this. I've already mentioned to you that one of the ways to make money is to buy and hodl. But you've got to know the right technology. You've got to be in the right time. You got to have those three things ticked off. Bitcoin today is worth, I think it's up to about 40 something now. Okay? It is still not finished. But this example here is where the buy and hodl investment strategy pays off. It takes time. So that's why right now it's still a good investment to simply buy Bitcoin. Okay. How does it work? The decentralization of Bitcoin. There's no one computer that holds this ledger. With Bitcoin, every computer, or with blockchain, every computer that participates in the system is also keeping a copy of the ledger, also known as the blockchain. So if you want to take down the system or hack it or pull it down or destroy it, you would have to you have to take down thousands of computers which are keeping a copy of this ledger and constantly updating it. Let me tell you what that means too. It means the blockchain is a network of computers. Every computer has is every computer is a copy of the ledger. All of the Bitcoin transactions are stored on every computer. And every time a new transaction is done, all of the computers are updated. That process is also what we call mining. There's a mining process to help make all of that possible. And that's going to come up in a few minutes when I talk about how to make additional money. So with Bitcoin, there's nothing physical that you can touch. No actual coins, no actual rows of transactions and balances. When you own Bitcoin, it means you own the right to access a specific Bitcoin address record in the ledger and send funds from that address in the ledger to another address. That's your value. Your value is that you can access this ledger and you can access the address in that ledger and you can sell or send whatever is in that address on the ledger to another. And you can access it. You don't need to go to the bank to access it, for them to tell you. No, you can go directly to that address yourself and send it to whoever you want to send it to. So what happened here is the first time a digital money has come into existence, and we now have an alternative to the current system. This is why Bitcoin is such big news. Bitcoin is a form of money that no government or bank can control. So think about the time before the internet, how centralized the flow of information was. Basically, if you wanted information, you could get it from a few major players like the New York Times, the Washington Post, certain big radio stations, networks on TV. They control the flow of information, but today, thanks to the internet, information is decentralized. The internet has decentralized information and knowledge. Bitcoin Blockchain, cryptocurrency have done the same thing with money. They have decentralized money and value. That's why Bitcoin is sometimes referred to as the internet of money, offering a decentralized solution to money. Now, Bitcoin compared to banks. One, Bitcoin, or you can replace that with cryptocurrency, gives you complete control over your money. With crypto, you alone can access your funds. No government or bank can decide to freeze your account or confiscate your holdings. We cut out the middleman. In many cases, Bitcoin is cheaper to use than traditional wire transfers or money orders. Also, unlike fiat currencies, Bitcoin was designed to be digital by nature. This means you can add additional layers of programming on top of it and turn it into smart money. Smart money is another whole topic that's built on top of this that you want to be aware of. Because in understanding smart money, you will identify new investment opportunities. So Bitcoin makes it possible for much more people to access the financial system in the world. 2.5 billion people are shut out because they are not a part and are not able to access the banking system. But with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, you don't need to be a part of the banking system to move money and to do transactions. No permission is needed. So a few questions. Who accepts Bitcoin as payment today is growing every day. As an example, Visa a few months ago announced that it was going to enable Bitcoin payments at 70 million of its merchants. Visa is authorizing 70 million of its merchants to accept cryptocurrencies as a form of payment because it has value and people are trusting it and it's growing more and more every day. Which kind which companies, what kind of companies are accepting crypto? Some of the biggest companies in the world are already accepting crypto payments, crypto as payment. Microsoft, AT&T, Amazon, and although at the moment it's done indirectly, Burger King, KFC, Subway, Pizza Hut, many of the big sporting teams like Miami Dolphins, many of the airlines like Norwegian Air, Pirate Bay, Home Depot. There are many, many others today. Only a few listed here. You can even now get a Bitcoin debit card. You can transfer crypto as money to your debit card and spend anywhere where that card is accepted. A survey in 2020 indicates that 36% of all small and medium-sized businesses in the US and North America accept cryptocurrency. So the acceptance is growing every day. The road towards mainstream acceptance is still a long one, but it's inevitable, which means yes, not everybody accepts it yet, but it's growing every day. But the bottom line is this thing you can't stop. It cannot be stopped anymore. It will happen. And as usual here in the Bahamas, we have an even longer way to go, even though we're making small strides. So Bitcoin has value simply because people are willing to trade money for it, meaning somebody finds it valuable and decides to buy it from someone else. At that exact moment, Bitcoin gains value. And so it's growing every day. Now, whenever people refer to Bitcoins or cryptocurrency price, they are actually referring to the price of the last trade conducted on a specific trading platform. Okay? Example of platforms. You're familiar with some of them already. Now, unlike US dollars, for example, there is no single global Bitcoin price that everyone follows. For instance, Bitcoin's price in my country may be different in somebody else's country. It all depends on the value it's traded at in that country. Most of us here in North America, on this side of the world, um, are able to trade at a particular or similar price. So the value of Bitcoin will change. If more people are demanding it, it will go up. If less people demanding it, it will go down. Now, as more people, more businesses, more companies, more people accept it, more people like me and you invest in owning the Bitcoin as an asset and use it, all of that creates demand and causes the price to go up. Can your cryptocurrency be converted to cash? Yes, I think you know that already. You can withdraw from your exchange and um, withdraw money back to your card. Only problem is in the Bahamas, we're still trying to get things up to par. All of our banks are not able to do that. Our monetary system is also not structured to support this yet. The central bank of the Bahamas is supposed to record every movement of money that moves outside the country. If you want to buy a can of soda from America, the central bank is supposed to record that purchase. So the movement of money is still a challenge, and the central bank controls the banks and tells them how to react to us. So we are still in a process where we have to adjust. The Bahamas will have to adjust to be a part of the crypto world. Um, I'm skipping over a few points here in this presentation. If you're looking to convert crypto to fiat currency, but not necessarily cash, coins and bills, you can use a variety of exchanges that we use now. CEX.io, Binance, Crypto, Coinbase, CoinMama, Trust Wallet. These are all wallets, exchanges where you would have gone to buy the crypto and you want to exchange your crypto back into a fiat currency. You can do that and hold it as a fiat currency on that exchange until you're ready to convert that fiat currency back into dollars and cents in your country wherever you are. We talked about that already. Okay, I'm going to skip some of this for you. I want to take you straight to this page here. I've been talking a lot. I'm excited about this subject, so I've been talking all the whole time. Um, I just want to make sure you're still there. I'll make sure I still got you. I'm about to wrap it up.
I'm still here.
Okay, very good. Did you have any questions? I was rambling on with stuff that you may know already, but any questions?
No, no, all of it I've heard before, so I basically knew all of that.
All the history and everything too.
Yes.
Well, I guess Canada really have been the one for this.
You're recording it, so she once you send it to her, then she'll just listen to it.
Okay, this last page here is a list of some of the ways people are making money with crypto. The first one is the one we all know, buy and hodl. The second is earning dividends. There are some exchanges that offer a program that allow you to earn dividends on your crypto holdings. There are also exchange exchanges that allow you to earn interest. I mentioned before, and there's some investors who are only investing in crypto to earn interest. Let me run through a few others that you may not be familiar with. Running master nodes. Now, to run a master node, you have to be a little bit more involved technically. Not that a layperson can't do it, but running a master node is to do with mining. Okay, it's to do with the process of getting transactions registered on the blockchain and making sure it's updated on all of the participating computers around the world. It's it's a process that you can um, lend your crypto to and earn. It's like being paid for offering this particular service with crypto. Okay, running a master node. And I don't want to get too technical, but it's in the process of the blockchain. They have nodes, master nodes that collect information and distribute information. So if you get connected in a system that allows you to run a master node, you can make money from that. Crypto mining, I've already mentioned that. The whole process of updating, getting the blockchain updated, um, that is a major activity that you could also get involved in. Uh, the next one is called staking. Staking is something like managing a fixed account. You allow your crypto to be used and you get rewarded back in additional crypto. Day trading is also one we mentioned. That's basically trading the way I do now. But like I said, you need to have your skill for trading up to par because it could be very risky. Microtasking is something that allows you to. There are companies that need certain micro tasks done that you can submit for. Again, it's going to require a little bit more involvement in the whole cryptology process. Okay, airdropping is a form of marketing for crypto. Crypto arbitrage involves a little bit more involvement as well, where you are comparing the price of cryptos between exchanges and executing transactions to take advantage of the differences in price. If one exchange is selling a crypto for one price, another exchange is selling it for a higher price, then there's opportunity there. You take advantage of the difference in price. And accepting crypto payments is really for persons who are in business. There are some, there are companies that will exchanges that will actually reward you for accepting crypto payments in your business. Cashback spending, there are programs where you can use your crypto cards and for, for purchases that you make using your crypto, they will offer cashback rewards. Bonus gambling. I'm not a gambler. That's really for gambling. People who are already um, I don't know prone to gambling. There are programs you can you can get into as a gambling program, but the rewards are in crypto. And this list is not exhaustive. There's more ways now than this list. Um, but as we move along, I will be guiding you through which ones you can take advantage of at this stage. This one here, mining, I mentioned is one. I'm going to give you some more information about this. There are some ways to take advantage of this one. There are people earning um, very decent income on a consistent basis from mining itself and from staking and from interest and dividends, definitely from buying and hodling. Okay, airdropping, yes, as well. A little bit more um, involvement tactically, but not much. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up here. I realize I took you on a journey you've already been on. Um, but this presentation is primarily designed for persons who are newbies, persons who are really trying to understand where all of this comes from and where we're trying to go next. So, um, do you have any questions about some of these earning opportunities? Because as we go along, I'm going to explore them with you. Any questions about any of these that catch your attention?
Not right now. I mean, you pointed out the ones that you would the I wouldn't really say major ones, but the ones to focus on. So, like you said, once you go through, you'll explain them a bit more. So I'll just wait until we have a next session, I guess, for you
Okay,
to explain them
right.
a little bit more.
Okay, that's not a problem. The only other thing I'll mention before I close is that's not here, and that is your investment portfolio for crypto. I'll be presenting you with a portfolio by percentage in terms of how you should invest your first investment. Um, Whether it's $1,000 or $500 or $5,000, I would suggest to you which cryptos to put a certain amount in that you want to begin your portfolio with. Okay, and that's
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so I mean that's it. I don't want to drag this out any longer. Um, I will have this ready for by tomorrow, maybe even before the night is out. Once I finish processing it, I will send it to you, and I will send it to her in case she doesn't. I'll send it to you as a backup, so you can always send it to her again.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Next
Okay.
time, if you know anyone, who probably not as advanced as you, and want to understand more about the whole crypto thing, where it comes from, and just refer them to me. I'll be doing this presentation on a regular basis. I'll be making some changes to it, but it's not for people who already understand crypto and blockchain and so on, like yourself maybe. But those people who are like, totally lost, refer them to me. They can come and we'll be doing the presentation. It'll be free for them to watch the presentation. And then if they want to do what you guys are doing, then of course, they can pay for the program or the service. If they just want to try to understand this whole crypto thing, you can refer them to me to watch the program. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.